Motivation is an emotional feeling that comes in a moment, but I promise you, it always fades away.
Okay, listen, it didn't just start with, guys, people need to be entertained. People need to be energized. I recognize that with kids. I recognize that with professionals. Here is how it all happened. As a kid, all the barbers started messing my hair up because nobody knew what to do with this head full of curly hair that I had going on. So eventually I started cutting my hair myself. And you know what happened. Of course I messed it up. I was horrible. But eventually I figured it out. And once I did, other people started trusting me with their hair also. And that's when everything changed. See, when someone would sit down in my chair and then get up 30 minutes later, I loved the way that it felt to help someone transform how they felt about themselves just with a haircut. So I started dreaming of taking that same level of impact to the stage.
We actually control how other leaders value what we do. That's why whenever I'm tasked as the opening or closing keynote speaker at a conference, I know exactly what I need to do as soon as I walk out on stage. First, I gotta grab their attention.
Go low, go low, go low, go low, go low, go. Get up, come on. Get up, get up. Going crazy, Death Row is the label that pays.
She looked at me and she said, obviously you don't know what type of music I like.
When I walk out on stage, I know that I have a job to do. I have a job to do because I feel tremendously blessed to have the life that I do. And that's why I ask every single leader at an event that I'm featured at. One, how do you want people to feel when I walk off on the stage?
I want to know more about his story. He's very inspirational.
Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. A very uplifting feeling of gratitude.
He brought the energy, and you know, when we were jumping and singing, and he was so energetic.
And two, what do you want to see people do differently as a result of this event?
Your big moment could happen tonight at the networking session as you're standing back there, as you're having what you thought was an off conversation, and another vendor or another colleague that you only see once or twice a year, they'll say, well, you know what? I'm glad you shared that. Here's what we tried this year to deal with that. You know, we tried this and it cost us a lot, but we committed to doing it, and our customers loved it.
I just saw Morrison today, and I'm still reeling from the impact that he left on me and my heart after this hour presentation. He was engaging, he was dynamic, he had the audience on the edge of their seat.
From an early age, people have always asked me how I made it through all of my circumstances. So I decided to get on stage and not just show people why I'm blessed, but actually say to them, from the stage, right here from the stage, hey, let's create this moment together.
Because 220 million, that might mean X amount more thousands of customers and people whose lives that you're reaching. It's not about the money, but it's about the impact.
When they come to you, it's not just a transaction. We got to go above the transaction. It's not a transmission. It's not parts. It's not this. No. It's much bigger than that. When people come and have an experience with you in a community, they need to look in your eyes. And they need an experience.
And today, as a speaker, artist, entertainer, business consultant, and author, we really help organizations deal with disruptions. We help people deal with disruption in life and in business. Because I was orphaned as a kid in New York City. And then unfortunately, I was orphaned a second time as a teenager. But I guess you could say I was inspired pretty early. I believe that leaders who thrive, they are open to the disruptions outside. But I really believe, Tommy G, that the leaders who thrive, they welcome the disruption themselves. The moment you start to get comfortable, shake something up in your life. See, I know a lot of you senior leaders right here who are worried about market disruptions right here, and you don't understand that the power is within.
Morris did an unbelievable job getting these people going. He killed it, knocked it out of the park, 5s across the board from everybody. They said, Morris, his keynote made the conference. How many people said, bring him back? And not too many people say they want to have some of the keynotes back the next year. They said, we'd pay to have him come back year 2, year 3, year 4. One of our best speakers we've ever had, and I've been doing conferences for 10 years. So Morrison, get him.
A lot of energy, inspirational.
I liked his stories, what he had to share with everybody and how he used it to kind of inspire all of us.
We love you, Morrison. We love Morrison.
and my background in HR and labor relations, it influenced my heart because HR gave me an accurate vision of not only successful organizations, but it gave me a vision of people. It gave me a vision of impact.
He looked at me, he said, number one, don't you ever be a victim. He said, number two, you take responsibility and ownership for your life. Stop worrying about what other people are saying. He said, don't worry about what other people are doing. And I'm thinking, I got it. Don't be a victim. Take responsibility. Own it. And he said, number three, don't you ever expect someone to give you something that you don't work for.
Losing 2 sets of parents changed how I experienced the world around me. It transformed me from the inside, but it gave me conviction, and it gave me a core set of values that I live by. And those values are my faith in God and my commitment to myself, to never being a victim, and to never expect anything to be given to me. And finally, a commitment to great storytelling. Yeah, a commitment to myself to always tell the most positive version of any story.
My gosh, his stories were wonderful, and just his presentation and his life and just his perspective on his life.
Great sense of humor.
Yeah, he made,
funny, but at the same time, could have started crying. No, he was really inspirational.
The way he uses humor, I laughed through the whole thing, and then sometimes even cried a little bit. It was fantastic.
How many of y'all would be interested in losing 10 pounds like in the next, few weeks? To be honest, you better get that hand up. You know what? Listen, if you want to lose 10 pounds in the next 2 weeks, you got to buy my book. It's in the book, all right? Jocelyn, I said, Jocelyn, what are you most excited for today? She said that I ain't got to do nothing. I saw a stat one time that said anywhere between 65 to 90% of adults that we interact with every day are on some type of antidepressant, or even worse, they need to be and they're not. And some of y'all are like, hey man, he's talking about Becky and accounts payable.
Studies show that 9 out of 10 people walk into events not expecting to experience anything that's going to actually make them want to change how they live their lives. And that's why people need experiences that are going to energize them and make them feel something on the inside. Make them feel something so they can actually feel inspired to want to change and to want to grow.
I've been told that 98% of people come to meetings and events just like this right here. Just like this. And they'll leave completely unchanged. 2%. They say only 2% of people actually implement new information when they come on a day like this.
Morris needs to be in front of more people. More people need to hear what this guy has to say. So if you have the chance to hear anything Morrison can tell you, listen, because this guy knows what he's talking about. I got not 1, not 2, but 3 copies of his book. Thank you, Morris. I absolutely love you.
Uplifting. It was a beautiful story. I wish my kids could have seen and heard that, because that's a message all parents want to share with their kids.
And the best thing about it is, when I'm not at a corporate event, speaking on a corporate stage or at a big conference somewhere, I'm speaking at churches. I'm speaking for youth. I'm speaking at colleges. I'm speaking at prisons. Why? Because our youth are the future of our country, and people like prisoners have been locked away and forgotten about. Every single person deserves to be energized and to be given a message of hope.
Because Mason, I believe that there's a destiny that's inside of your heart. I believe the day you were born, you were sent here to do something amazing.
My name is Danielle Gertner. I'm with the Florida Leadership Academy. This is my 3rd time seeing Morrison speak. It is an unparalleled experience. If you don't book him, you're missing out. Don't make that mistake. Book Morrison.
Hey, I'm author and professional speaker and entertainer, Morrison. Listen, remember this. You can't do anything great in life without a lot of faith. You can't do anything great if you expect instant results. And most importantly, don't wait for someone or something else around you to disrupt you. You got to disrupt yourself by never being comfortable and always creating new disciplines. Why? Because your family, your team, and your community around you, they need you to show up the best version of yourself. So hey, let's do it together. I'll see you soon. Thanks.
Yeah! Look at all the brothers right now, they like, he gone crazy.